Peter Englund, Permanent Secretary in the Swedish Academy. Who's got the Nobel Prize for 2011?
The Nobel Prize for 2011 is awarded the Swedish poet Tomas Tranströmer.
The prize to a Swedish person. A Swedish Academy gives it to a Swedish person. Won't they find that controversial abroad? What do you think?
Well, perhaps, but one should also keep in mind that it is now soon 40 years since this happened. And the earlier instance when a Swede received the Nobel Prize, it was 60 years ago. So it's not that we sort of spread them around on Swedes each and other year. So I think we have been quite thoughtful about this, not being rash in choosing a Swede.
He's a well-known person in Sweden, of course, and for you and me, but we have viewers and listeners from all over the world, so please tell me, who is Tomas Tranströmer?
As I said, he is a poet, but he has never really been a full-time writer as such. He has worked much of his life as a psychologist. He is born in 1931, so he's 80 years old. And he has been writing poetry since 1951, when he made his debut. And he has quite a small production, really. You could fit it into a not too large pocketbook, all of it. So he has a very sparse and very well-contained production. He is not a prolific author.
What are his important themes?
Well, he is writing about big questions, of course. He's writing about death, and he's writing about history and memory and nature, a lot about nature. But it is not, these themes are about human beings, observing them, these enormous entities, and giving them life, or we becoming belittled by these enormous entities outside ourselves. But it's about death and history and memory, watching us, creating us, and that makes us important, because human beings are the sort of the prism where all these great entities meet, and it makes us important. And so you can never feel small after reading the poetry of Tomas Tranströmer. He's also exquisite when it comes to his language. His metaphors, for instance, are very famous. But it's not just a question of being a very adept at putting them together, but they are an important part of it. The metaphors open up.
Speaking of the international reactions to this decision of the Swedish Academy, is he translated to other languages?
Oh yes, he is. I would say that he is one of the world's now living poet that has been translated the most. He has been translated into over 60 languages. I don't know if I can name 60 languages if my life depended on it. So he's well known among people who read poetry, yes.
He got a stroke a few years ago, so he can't really speak or perform anymore.
That's true. He lost his ability to walk and his speech due to a stroke.
If one hasn't read him before, where to start?
Well, there are a number. In the English language, he is well translated, and it can be found in all major languages and pretty recent editions. In the English language, there are, you can find now two very good collections, editions that people have put together, poems from all his production. One is called The Half-Finished Heaven, and the other one is called New Collected Poems, or something like that. And both of them are pure gold. They are very good. And I understand that it translates quite well.
Thank you, Peter Englund, for taking your time to give us this description of the great poet Tomas Tranströmer.